Late Monday night, United Airlines Flight 1074 was abruptly grounded after a passenger stormed the cockpit claiming he had a bomb while screaming terrorist sayings. The flight made a U-turn in the sky after a passenger ran toward the cockpit screaming "Jihad, Jihad." Now, fellow passengers tackled the passenger, and then the video was leaked onto Reddit, which you can watch now.
Fucker! Insane!
You're talking to Sergeant Molnar. What's your rank?
Oh, my father is so baby. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Don't move, David. You're okay. We're gonna get you off this plane. We're gonna get you off this plane, buddy. We're gonna get you off this plane.
No, please, take me up, buddy. Yeah, buddy, buddy.
Okay. I got him. You got him? You got him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, please.
All right. Okay.
My dad.
It's gonna be okay. I got him. You got him? 100%. All right, well, we're getting up. We're getting up now. Yeah. We're getting up now. We're getting up. Okay.
Now, another passenger on the plane describes the scenario. She says one held his feet and the other one kind of laid on top of him, and then the flight attendants went and got some plastic restraints for his arms. At one point, when his head was down, he said there were jihadists in the cargo hold, and he did say jihad a couple of times. So now we're unsure of whether he does have any ties with ISIS or whether he's just a sympathizer, or if he's just crazy. Yeah. But in the video you can hear, please stop, they said call it off. Now, his mental state at the time is unknown, and no weapons were found after he was subdued. As of late Tuesday morning, the passenger had not been arrested or charged with a crime. So luckily, none of the...
That's odd.
It is odd, right? I mean, the good news is that none of the 33 passengers or the 6 in crew flight attendants were injured in any way. But of course, they have to be extremely shooken up after seeing that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting in America, especially because we arrest people if a plane has to be rerouted because they got into a verbal confrontation, not about terrorism. Like, if you cause a plane to be diverted or to have to land prematurely, we throw people in jail for that. And so this guy, look, I do think that he's just crazy, but he did threaten the plane. The fact that he, so far at least, hasn't been charged with a crime, I think is actually pretty noteworthy.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that he's mentally unstable, so I think that probably contributes to maybe why he hasn't been, and this is pretty recent, so we don't have a lot of the details, and maybe they're going to keep coming, and we can update you on that.
Yeah, it's also interesting, like we say that a person is crazy, but I try to understand what sort of crazy he is, and it's one thing to have a delusion that there are jihadists in the cargo. Like, if he ran up and down yelling, "There's jihadists on the plane," that's just a regular delusion. But for him to also yell "Jihad, Jihad" means that maybe he is both a sympathizer, not necessarily with any ties to ISIS, and he's crazy.
It reminds me of that scene in Bridesmaids where she thinks somebody's churning butter on the wings.
I don't remember that one.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
And imagine being a passenger on there and you don't know if the person's just regular crazy or if he's terrorist crazy.
Exactly. One of the husband of a wife who was on the plane, who flies a lot, she said she texted him from the plane saying how scared she was and how shaken up she was. And of course, and the scarier thing is that he's saying all this stuff, and what would, I guess, motivate somebody to say they had a bomb if they didn't even have a bomb?
Crazy delusions.
Makes no
I don't know. Maybe
me.
he thought that he did have a bomb, or maybe he thought he actually did have some connection to terrorists in the cargo hold. I don't know. It is scary, and it's also dangerous, by the way, because after the history of terrorist attacks in this country over the past 15 years, I mean, they subdued him and restrained him, but they could have killed him with their bare hands because they're worried that he did actually have contact with terrorists. So he risked his life in that crazy outburst he had.
Yeah, I like that the passengers kind of came and took care of the situation. I think that's a good sign for the community of our country. Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see what comes out as details of this unfold.